BF Day proudly presents Mr. M's Math Class.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of Mr. M's Math Class. Thank you so much for joining me today. Line plots, range, mean, oh my. Thank you so much for sending me all of your work. It was really great seeing it. We're going to talk a little bit more about line plots later today, but it was really great seeing your work. I did want to quickly apologize to Ulysses because I did not put your name in there. I think I got confused with Yuli and Ulysses and which one I had actually put in there, so sorry for not putting that in there. I'm going to quickly go over the agenda for today. One, I'm going to show you pictures of some students looking at episode 5. Two, I'm going to talk about the winners of the first quarantine challenge question, and I'm also going to reveal the answer, of course. 3, we're going to talk about our new estimation 180, which was given to us by Zach. So thank you, Zach, for that question. 4, I'm going to go over some of the observations that I noticed from all of your work from the line plots, so I'm going to bring that out. 6, I'm going to introduce the new math exploration and do a quick little lesson for you guys. 6, I'm going to give you a new coloring sheet, just actually just one sheet, and then introduce some new Kenkens. And then I'll have a goodbye message, and then I'll give you the estimation 180 answer. So here are some pictures of you guys looking at episode 5. All right, thank you for, again, sending me those pictures. Again, parents, please take a picture of your student looking at number 6, episode 6, and send them to me, and then they'll get featured in the next episode. I'm going to talk about the first quarantine challenge question, and it was a tricky one with the boxes and the number of zeros and ones and twos and threes. It takes some perseverance, and so the answer for that is the number of zeros in this box is 1. The number of ones in this box is 7. The number of twos in this box is 3. The number of threes in this box is 2. The number of fours in this box is 1. The number of fives in this box is 1. The number of sixes in this box is 1. The number of sevens in this box is 2. The number of eights in this box is 1. And the number of 9 in this box is 1. And that was the only answer for that question. And the people, as soon as they got that right, in no particular order, were Alex, Anastasia, Ariel, Holland, Juliet, Lukash, Mateo, Oliver, Quincy, and Fergus. Congrats to all of you. We had a really great lunch yesterday and today. So thank you for all of you who participated. And I'm looking forward to next week's challenge of the week, or quarantine challenge question. So again, that's due on Tuesday. So make sure to turn that in by Tuesday, and then I will announce the winners in that episode. All right, so we have our new estimation 180 question, and this one was given to us by Zach. And Zach's question is, how many tiles are in the bag? Again, that's how many tiles are in the bag. Okay, so I actually created a line plot with all of your, with all the data that I had given out. And so instead of actually using your work, I just created one that was based off of your work. And for the most part, I saw really great titles, really great subtitles. People really seem to understand maximum, minimum, range, the median, also what was the other one? The mode. Some people really seem to understand it, which was really great. The most common, I think, mistake that I saw in everyone's work was how to find the mean or the average. And I think that's mostly my fault. If a lot of us messed up, then it's probably my fault for not maybe teaching it to you well enough. So really quickly, my title is The Number of Letters in the First Names of Mini Middle School. And I have a very tiny subtitle. It's over here in the bottom. It says Number of Letters in First Name. So we have from 3 to 9, and I saw everyone really do that well. So 3 is our minimum, 9 is our range. Now, in order to find the mean or the average, is you actually have to add up all the letters in everyone's name, and then divide it by how many names there were on that worksheet. And so I did this earlier, so I'm not gonna bore you with me adding all these numbers, but there are 445 letters in everyone's name. Now this is not count Ulysses. I'm basing it off of the worksheet that I gave you. So with Ulysses' name, it changes it a little bit, but it's 445. 445 letters in total in everyone's name. And I think I'm going to change this marker because it's kind of hard to look at the orange. So again, that's 445 total letters in everyone's name in Mini Middle School, divided by the number of people that participated, the number of names that were in that worksheet. And there were 86 names. So I had to divide 445 divided by 86. So that was a bit challenging of a question, to be honest. Some of you were like, whoa, 86 times what is 445? And one of the things that I like to do is do 10, but 86 times 10 is 860, which is clearly more than 445. So what do? So what I did was I actually took half of 10, or half of 860, which would be 430. So 86 times 5 is 430. And we have a remainder of 15. And so the average is 5, remainder 15. You can write it as that. You can also say it's 5, and then you can turn it into a fraction, actually. So 15 out of 86, 15 out of 86, and that really does round to 5. So the average number of letters in Mini Middle School is 5. Now, if you got an answer that was like 80 something or 70 something or 60 something, you think about that. Like if you were to ask somebody, hey, how many letters would you say are in somebody's name in Mini Middle School? And if you said 86, people would look at you and be like, oh, there's 80, like that's the average? 5 makes a little bit more sense. So you're trying to think, if you were to ask anyone how many letters you had in your name in Mini Middle School, the average answer is about 5. So I just wanted to clear that up. But overall, really great job on the line plots. All right, we're going to move on to something new in the next part. All right, so for math exploration number 6, we're going to move into something completely different. So we're moving on from line plots. And we're going to be dividing whole numbers by fractions, which is maybe a little terrifying. Like, so how we're going to do this is I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm going to create a little visual model for you up here that will hopefully help you understand dividing a whole number by a fraction. So our question is, little baby snail, is going to visit his grandma, who lives 6 miles away. So I want to really quickly here draw a little snail. And little snail wants to go to his grandma's house, which is 6 miles away. And immediately I think of a line plot. Or, I think of a line, not a line plot. Apparently I haven't moved on either. I want to think of a line. So if little snail starts here, little snail wants to eventually get to his grandma's house, which is 6 miles away. Now, because little snail is a little snail and it's a snail, it could only go half a mile every day. And the question is, how many days will it take little snail to get to his grandma's house? So I want to fill in the rest of my line here. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 6. And each number here represents 1 mile, right? So we have 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles. And as we said, little snail can only snail or walk half a mile every day. So That's the first day, and that's half a mile. And that's another day, and that's another half a mile. Another half. That's the third day, and that's the fourth day. So in 4 days, that's only been 2 miles. Fifth day, another half mile. Another half mile. The sixth day, halfway there. Seventh day and eighth day is another half mile. And I want you to notice here that I am labeling each jump, so I want to be specific about that. And I want you to be careful about that because you're going to be doing this in your math exploration, and your jumps need to be labeled. Your number line needs to be labeled just like this. So if you need to come back and look at the video again to get an idea of what I mean by visual model, this is what I'm talking about. And then on the 9th day, another half mile. On the 10th day, another half mile, almost there. Another half mile, 11th day. And then lastly, finally, on the 12th day, little snail gets to grandma's house. And so the equation that would match this problem would be in 6 miles divided by half. So how many halves are there in 6? How many days did it take little snail to get to his grandma's house? 12. Now you might be thinking, how did you get a bigger answer? But you have to think about what this 12 means. It means that there are 12 1/2s in 6. And that might clear it up a little bit because it seems weird to divide by something and you get something bigger, right? So this means that there are 12 1/2s in 6, and you can see that really neatly in this visual model. Now, if you don't like a number line, you can also create a visual model in this way as well. So what you can do is, well, there's 6 miles, and so I'm going to represent each mile with this rectangle. So these represent a mile each. And so the little snail can do half a mile each day. So that's the first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, seventh day, eighth day, ninth day, 10th day, 11th day, 12th day. And again, as specific as the other one, I want to make sure that I'm labeling each one of these as half. And I can see here that, again, 6 divided by 1/2 is 12. There are 12 1/2s inside of the 6. And so in your exploration for today, there is a question that you'll have to solve, and each question has a bottom challenge question. And I do want you to try this, but I'm really going to be looking mostly at this one, but I do want you to try this as well because we will be talking about this in the next episode. And then there is a second question with a challenge, and then there is a third question that you have to do. But then again, the challenge I do want you to try, but I'm going to be looking at this 3, and then the last one 4, and 4 it's another challenge question on the bottom as well. So do all the regular questions, and if you want to do the challenge questions, I very highly encourage you to do that. But I really hope you enjoyed that, and good luck on the exploration today. All right, so before I move on, I forgot to mention that the next exploration is due on April 7th, which is next Tuesday at noon, which is the same day that the second quarantine challenge question is due. So make sure to turn your work in on Tuesday so that you can be featured in the next episode. Next up, I'm going to talk about the new coloring sheet. So I actually got some feedback that sending murals every time was actually maybe too much. So what I decided to do, and thank you, Jaden, for this suggestion, on Tuesday, I'm going to send out a mural, which is a bigger coloring sheet, and then on Fridays, I'll send a shorter, just 1 page. And so for today, we have a Hagrid, and so here's a picture of that finished product right now. So I'm hoping that the smaller sheet will be a little easier. And then I'm also going to include a new batch of Ken-Kens in this email, and I'm going to put that also in Schoology. So I hope you enjoy them. All right, everybody, that does it for episode 6 of Mr. M's math class. Thank you again for joining me. I've been really, really thankful for seeing some of you in the last few days via Teams chats or Zoom chats, and so it's been really, really nice seeing your faces. So if you'd really like to have lunch with me, shoot me an email, have your parents shoot me an email, or send me a message on Schoology, and I'd be happy to do that. Some of you have also been requesting more math worksheets, so I'm in the process of working with that and seeing if we can figure out a way to get you guys some more worksheets. And so before I say goodbye, we'll have our answer to Zach's question, which is how many tiles are in the bag. Thank you, Zach, for sending that in. And again, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good weekend and take care. Bye.